In this video, we're going to use the Regex builder to do some scraping, and what we are going to scrape is the anchor text of the URLs inside of this blog post here. So we want to get things like Benjamin Franklin, Michael Jordan, Ubot forums, time is money, and so on. So the first thing we're going to do is we're just going to take a look at what the HTML behind this looks like. And as we can see, it's just a pretty basic looking hyperlink. What we're going to do is we're going to try and get this Benjamin Franklin out. So we're going to look at what's immediately surrounding it. We can see that the A tag is being closed after the hyperlink. Actually, I'm going to paste this out here so we can just see that. So we can see that that's going to be ending the hyperlink, and that's going to be in all of the cases, of course, because that's how links work. And then this is before it. So this is always going to be different. And there, of course, is a way to include all of this and include the different types of text and whatnot that could be inside of there. But in this case, we're going to be a little bit lazy, and we're just going to say that this is the start of the link. This is before the text we want to get. All right. So we're going to copy that. We're going to paste it in the before. We're going to come back. We're going to copy the after. We're going to paste it in the after. And then what do we want in between? Well, the hyperlink can really be anything. So what we're going to do is we're just going to do anything. When we're using this anything, we can usually skip this middle part. So we're going to do that. And we're going to say there can be one or more of anything. We're going to hit create. Creates this little regex for us. Then what we're going to do is find the code of the post here. So just bear with me for 1 second while I do that. Okay, believe this is it. Article. Okay. So we paste that into the input, we click test, and we don't get what we want. But we're pretty close. We have 13 results here. This last one, or second to last one, looks like it's pretty much what we want. Some of these we're seeing like words, and this all looks fairly short, but we actually cut a corner there by just using this what is that, greater than sign? This greater than sign as the before. See, we can make this more complicated, and we can say we want to include the less than sign, a space href equals, any link with some code there, and then potentially something after the link, and then this, and then finally whatever we want to get. But that's kind of long and messy, so we're trying to sort of cheat the system a little bit. Maybe what we want to get is maybe we know that they all end with this quote tag as well, right? So we can put that in before. We can create that and test it. And that actually cleans it up a lot. But we're still not quite there, as you can see, because we have all this nonsense. So another way that we can look at this is, do we know what we want to get? Because I feel like this is going to be a common trap for people. They're always going to use this anything, and that's not always the best thing to do, because sometimes when you're trying to solve a problem like this, one of the best things you can do is you can look at your result set as you want it, right? So we can start looking and say, well, this says brandable domain finder, and this says gibberish, this says Dropbox, this says ultra keyword scraper. What are the common things that, what are the things that these all have in common? They all appear to be just words. And so that's what's most likely going to be there. So at least in this case, and I'm just showing this as an example, by the way. I'm not saying to go out and do it this exact way, because to be fair, there can be anything in that anchor text, but I'm just showing an example of sort of like a problem and how to work around it. In our case, we have this normal text input. That's what it looks like. It looks like normal text, and this includes a lot of things. So we're going to try this normal button, and in this case, we're going to say either. The reason is because it can include any of this, or really either of it. So it can include words and spaces, and there might be dashes, and there might be colons, and there might be all of these things, right? So it can be either, which is sort of like basically any of these things, right? And then again, we know that there's going to be something there, so we're just going to tick that one or more. So let's try that. Alright, and that creates this much longer, complicated regex. And then when I click test, all of a sudden it cleans it up. So the purpose of this video is to demonstrate the fact that you're not always going to want to use anything, because it's tempting to do that. In some cases, you need to look at what you are trying to get. You need to look at what that's going to be, and you need to be a little more specific. In our case, we know that the anchor text is usually going to be normal text input. And so when we click that, it actually cleans it up for us. So again, this is just an example. I'm not saying that you should go use this specific regex on every site when you want these results. There could technically be anything in the anchor text. So this is just an example to show you simple scraping with a problem as well as a solution to that problem. And I hope that it helps you use this software a little better.